I'm Barbara Ann Horlick, and this program is part of an educational series called You Count Too. You know, as a woman whose responsibilities include not only taking care of your own family, but taking care of others' children as well, you're faced with a unique set of challenges. And perhaps the biggest challenge of all is finding the time to take care of yourself. This program will show you effective ways to balance all the roles you play as a woman. Remember, you're not only a caregiver during business hours, you may also be a wife, a mother, a friend, a daughter, a neighbor, a volunteer. There are always plenty of people who want a piece of your valuable time. In the first segment of our program, I will be talking about the importance of creating a healthy lifestyle for yourself and taking care of your own needs first. You'll learn how making time for yourself, nurturing yourself, and creating a positive attitude can make an incredible difference in your energy level and in how you feel about yourself. Later on in our program, we'll talk about assertiveness training and how taking care of yourself also means standing up for yourself. And finally, in our last segment, we'll discuss the importance of managing your time effectively and how it fits into the concept of taking care of yourself. You'll learn about setting realistic goals and how to delegate some of your work. The issue here is avoiding burnout. And we've got some terrific examples and scenarios that I know you'll relate to. And on that note, let's begin. Here's a tool I use in my seminars to help people visualize just how their many responsibilities impact their lives. I call it the balancing wheel. As a caregiver, you are at the center of this wheel. You make your world go around. Each of the spokes represent a part of your life. Your time spent as a wife, a friend, a parent, a business person, a housekeeper, even your personal time. The bottom line is that in order for you to keep your world running smoothly, in order for you to have enough energy to take care of everyone and everything else in your life, you need to take care of yourself. The problem is that most of us, especially girls, have been taught from an early age that it's important to take care of others. In the process, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that you deserve to take care of yourself as well. In fact, you deserve it just as much, if not more than, everyone else. It's not being selfish, it's actually being smart. Because if you take care of yourself, you can do a better job of taking care of others. Think of your energy as a pitcher of water. As you pour a little energy here as a caregiver, and a little energy here as a wife, and a little more there to take care of all the other people and things in your life, you suddenly find that there's not much energy left over for you. So when the next day rolls around and you start off your day with an empty pitcher of energy, it's not easy to function. How are you going to deal with the children in your care, with their parents, with your own family, with conflicts that need to be resolved? How are you going to face the laundry that needs to be done? The friend that needs your help? Wouldn't your day be better for you and everyone you come in contact with if you started your day with your energy tank on full? So how do you do this? How can you avoid the empty pitcher syndrome? One way is to make a special place for yourself, an area just for you, that when you're there, your family knows not to bother you. I call it a self-quieting area. You may have your own name for it. A self-quieting area doesn't have to take up much space. It may be a favorite comfy chair, your bathtub, the love seat on your porch, any place where you can close your eyes, rest, relax, reflect. Listen to peaceful music, read a book or magazine, light a scented candle, have a glass of fresh juice. Use your time in this space to do whatever helps you feel grounded, centered, and peaceful. A convenient time to go to your self-quieting area may be when the children have their nap time, or maybe after dinner, so you can enjoy a glass of wine. Making quiet time for yourself can give you strength and renew your energy level. Another important element in the taking care of yourself equation is making time for regular exercise. It's a great way to burn off stress, as well as excess calories. Exercising also helps you keep your weight under control and will help you feel good about your body. Let's take a look at what we've learned so far. Probably the most important thing is learning that even though your role may be to take care of others, you deserve to take care of yourself first. And again, it's important to give yourself both the time and a place to unwind, regroup, and recharge. And don't overlook friends and family members who believe in you and are supportive of you. They can be a tremendous help. Maybe you have a sister or a friend who can wrap gifts for you. Perhaps your spouse or companion will do the grocery shopping or sort the laundry. Delegating tasks to others is one way to lighten your own load. We'll talk about how to ask for help later on in the program. You know, as a nurturer, women seldom have the opportunity to receive nurturing. Okay, maybe on our birthdays or Mother's Day, but that's only a couple of times a year. That means you need to take some action. If you want some nurturing on any of the remaining 363 days of the year, you can nurture yourself by doing things that make you feel good. You can set a pretty table, even if it's just for yourself. Go ahead, use your nice dishes and a nice glass, and put some flowers in a vase. Why not? If it makes you feel special, then do it. Change out of those sweats. Put on a little makeup. Don't you look nice and feminine? And don't you feel better about yourself? Another way to pamper yourself is to make what I call a comfort box. Use a basket or a pretty hat box. Collect some of the special things you have that make you feel good. It might be your favorite potpourri or a scented candle. You might want to include special cards that friends have given you, vacation photos, or an affirmation book. You might even want to include some fun things like markers and a coloring book. When you need a lift, you can always turn to your comfort box to make you feel good. You can even make an on-the-go comfort kit. And finally, if you need some nurturing, there's something else you can do. You can simply ask for it. That's right, ask for it. Ask your child to comb your hair. Ask your spouse for a foot massage. Ask your people to give you the things you need. Remember, creating balance in your life means making time for yourself and taking care of your own needs first. Just think of the instructions the flight attendant gives you when you're traveling with a child. The flight attendant says, in the event of an emergency, put the oxygen mask on yourself first so that you can then help the child. It's advice you can apply to all parts of your life. Now you're probably sitting there thinking, gee, that sounds great, but I can't do that.
I can't do that. I don't have time to exercise every day. I can't ask my husband for a massage. I can't ask anyone to do my chores for me. I can't.
This attitude is what we call negative self-talk. And if you fill your head with these types of thoughts, then in fact, you won't improve your life. But it's not because you can't, it's because you've chosen not to. The fact is, how we talk to ourselves affects us mentally, emotionally, and physically. So whether you choose to fill your head with negative self-talk or positive self-talk, you'll find that it has a strong impact on your energy level on any given day. Here's a demonstration that will illustrate my point.
I'm so tired and the kids haven't even arrived yet. I know I'm going to have a hard day. Oh, they're here already? Okay, let me start my day. Okay, so I'm tired today. I'm not going to let that keep me from having a great day. I'll start with doing some body stretches. Today is a great day. I feel better already.
So how do you put yourself in a positive mindset? How do you fill your head with powerful, positive thoughts that will help you reach your goals? With an affirmation. An affirmation is a positive statement that you tell yourself regularly and repeatedly. It's a way to control your self-talk by changing negative thinking to positive thinking. For an affirmation to be effective, you need to follow a few rules. I call them the 4 P's, and here they are. Make sure your affirmation is in the present tense. It's not something you wish had happened or hope will happen. Saying, I am organized, is not the same as saying, I will become more organized, or I wish I were more organized. What you want to say is, I am organized. Keep your affirmation positive. Instead of saying, I am not a slob, you say, I am neat. You want to be certain that your affirmation has the power to stir up feelings inside of you. If it doesn't mean anything to you, it won't have an impact on your life. If your affirmation means something to you, if it relates to something you feel strongly about, then it becomes a powerful affirmation, one that will make a difference in your life. And finally, if you want to make sure that your affirmation is possible, so be realistic. You can't say, I am a brain surgeon, unless of course you happen to be in training to become a brain surgeon. But you can say, I am a terrific child care provider. You can say it, and you can mean it. Let's review what it takes to create an effective affirmation. Remember, it must be in the present tense, positive, powerful, and possible. So give yourself a personal pep talk with a daily affirmation. Say it regularly, say it every day, and say it with feeling. You'll be amazed at how good you feel about yourself and about your life. Today we've talked about creating a healthier lifestyle for yourself by creating balance in your life and through positive self-talk. But you know, it's really just the beginning. In part 2 of this series, you'll learn that taking care of yourself means standing up for yourself. It means saying no to people. It means asking for what you want. It means creating boundaries. And it means managing your time effectively. These are tools that our mothers never taught us, but they are valuable skills you can learn. And you should, because you count too. I'm Barbara Ann Horlick, and thanks for joining us. Hi, I'm Barbara Ann Horlick, and welcome to part 2 of You Count Too. This educational series is designed to help women like yourself take better care of themselves by gaining control over their lives. In part 1, we discussed the importance of creating a healthier lifestyle for yourself and taking care of your own needs first. We talked about how making time for yourself, nurturing yourself, and creating a positive attitude can make a difference in your energy level and in how you feel about yourself. But right now, we're going to talk about assertiveness training and how taking care of yourself also means standing up for yourself. So let's begin. So which one are you? When someone tries to take advantage of you, how do you react? Do you get furious and go on the offensive? Or do you get walked over like a doormat? Or are you able to stand up for yourself diplomatically? If you tend to be passive and feel that you're often taken advantage of, you'll not only be upset with the individual who took advantage of you, you'll also be upset with yourself for letting it happen. On the flip side, if you're aggressive and go on a verbal attack, you risk creating bad feelings between yourself and others. You may say things that you'll later regret, and you may even lose business. Learning to stand up for yourself in such situations takes skill and practice. This is where assertiveness training becomes a valuable tool. Assertiveness tells others how you feel and what your expectations are without pointing blame. To make sure you understand the difference between passive, aggressive, and assertive behaviors, let's take a look at these demonstrations. See if you see yourself in the responses.
I was calling because I wanted to know if Friday I could have off, if you don't mind, because I have something to do. I need Friday off, so don't bring your kids. You're going to have to find somewhere else for them to be. Hi, I have some things I need to take care of on Friday, so I'll be taking the day off. You'll need to make some other arrangements for your child for that day, and if you need to, I have some names that you can call.
The trick for most people is learning to be assertive without being aggressive. It takes practice, but a simple exercise using the expression "I feel" as a communication tool can help. It's like this: I feel when you, what I want is, and you can count on me for. It's a way of saying what you want while being respectful of the other person and of yourself. Here's an example. Say your husband is late coming home. An aggressive response would be,
You are so inconsiderate to show up an hour late. You've ruined the perfect dinner I prepared.
think about how you would feel to come home to that type of verbal assault. Now think about how you would feel if you heard this assertive approach instead.
I feel worried when you're late. What I want is, if you see that you're not going to be home until after 6:15, for you to call me. That way I won't worry and I can make sure our dinner doesn't burn. And you can count on me to call you if I'm going to be late.
Hear the difference. An aggressive response points blame and puts people on the defensive. An assertive response explains how you feel and what you would like to have happen. So whether it's dealing with a parent who is repeatedly late picking up her child, or a husband who is late for dinner, you need to have assertiveness skills that you can call upon to get your needs met. These communication tools may feel awkward to use in the beginning, but you'll see that with practice, it will come naturally. Best of all, it will make a wonderful difference in your life. One thing to remember is to make sure your nonverbal communication is in sync with your words and the tone of your voice.
I get upset when you're late. What I really want for you to do is try and pick Alex up by 5:30, okay? I know it's tough for you to get here by 5:30 to pick Alex up, but I feel taken advantage of when you're late. How about if I have all his things gathered up and ready for you to go when you get here?
And what about people who ask things of you? Do you find yourself overburdened because you can't say no when someone asks you to be on a committee or watch their kids while they go shopping? Taking care of yourself means being able to set boundaries, to say no assertively when you mean it, and to do so without feeling guilty. Remember, you have the right to say no when you mean no. When you are in control, you can better manage your time.
Hello? Hi. No, I'm not going to be able to watch the kids on Saturday. That doesn't work for me. But I do have a name of someone who can help you. Okay. Have a good day.
Today we've demonstrated how taking care of yourself means standing up for yourself. It means saying no to people. It means asking for what you want. It means creating boundaries. We all know that if we let people take advantage of us, they gladly will. So take the time to practice some of the assertive skills we talked about and start feeling in control of your life today. And always remember, you count too. I'm Barbara Ann Horlick, and thanks for joining us. I'm Barbara Ann Horlick, and we're about to embark on part 3 of You Count Too. This educational series is designed to help women, like yourself, take better care of themselves by gaining control over their lives. In part 1, we discussed how making time for yourself, nurturing yourself, and creating a positive attitude can make a difference in your energy level and in how you feel about yourself. In part 2, we talked about assertiveness training and the importance of standing up for yourself. And now, in our last segment, we'll be focusing on time management. In spite of all you have to do, it's important to remember that there are only 24 hours in a day. And with any luck, you're using about 1/3 of that time for some much needed sleep. That's why in this segment, we'll be discussing methods for making the best use of your time. We'll talk about the value of goal setting and delegating responsibility. We'll also talk about preventing burnout and the warning signs of which you need to be aware. So what is the best way to get a handle on your time? By setting goals. There are short-term goals, which are those you can do today and this week, and there are long-term goals, which pertain to the future. Setting short-term goals can help eliminate that feeling of being overwhelmed by letting you accomplish something. But first you need to set some priorities. Each night, write down the 6 most important things you need to get done the following day. These are your goals for the day. Each time you finish a task, cross it off your list. Writing down daily goals is an effective time management skill. Plus, you don't have to worry about forgetting to do something because it's written down. You'll be amazed how in control you feel as you watch that list get shorter and shorter. And what if you have too many things that absolutely must get done? Here's a word I want you to remember: delegate. Remember, if you don't delegate some of your workload, you won't have time to take care of your own needs. Besides, it might surprise you to learn that people need to know that you value them and that you count on them for their help. So if your list of short-term goals is too long for you to manage, delegate, delegate, delegate. And while you're setting goals, think about establishing some long-term goals for yourself. You can have long-term goals in every area of your life: your career, family, finances, material possessions, education, etc. But to set an effective long-term goal, it must have the following attributes. First of all, it must be achievable. So be realistic about your goal. Second, you need to be specific in your goal. If your goal is to have more children in your daycare, specify how many. I want to have 6 children in my daycare. Your goal should have a deadline. I want to have 6 children in my daycare by next September. You need to write it down. You need to be flexible with your goal, and your goal must be measurable. To achieve your long-term goals, you need a plan that can be broken down into manageable activities. So if your goal is to have 6 children in your daycare by a certain date, here's how you might break down the plan into manageable steps. Make sure you're part of a community resource center or community training program. Inform the directors of a community resource center or program that you are accepting more children. Put an ad in your local newspaper and ask current parents to refer others to you. By keeping the activities manageable, you will feel in control. And as you complete each task, you will enjoy a wonderful sense of accomplishment as each step brings you closer to your long-term goal. Throughout this program, we've talked about the importance of creating balance in your life and taking care of yourself. We've talked about the value of positive self-talk and creating affirmations for yourself. We've also given you some valuable examples of assertive behavior and how, with practice, you can use it to set boundaries and ask for what you want. And finally, we've talked about managing your time by setting goals and delegating responsibilities. The point of it all is to prevent burnout. Some of the warning signs of burnout include feeling like you just can't handle it anymore, no energy, you're irritable, you're exhausted, you can't meet deadlines, you can't keep up with your work, you don't feel appreciated, you feel like everyone takes advantage of you. If you recognize any of these symptoms in yourself, you can use the preventive measures we've talked about, and you can use your time management skills to gain control of your life. Be sure to eat well, exercise, give yourself some self-quieting time, and above all, give yourself some positive strokes or ask for help from others. The purpose of this series is to prevent you from ever reaching the burnout point. So take care of yourself. You deserve it. And never forget, you count too. I'm Barbara Ann Horlick, and this is the second program in an educational series called You Count Too. The series is designed to be a tool for child care providers like yourself to help you get the most out of your chosen career by giving you strategies for managing so many of the situations you're likely to encounter. In Volume 1, we discuss the importance of taking care of your own needs and creating a balance in your life. In Volume 2, we will be talking about the importance of good communication when dealing with parents of prospective students. During the program, you'll receive some valuable tips for avoiding the conflicts that arise out of miscommunication and misunderstandings. You'll learn about preventive measures you can take to make sure that parents understand your expectations and you theirs. Plus, you'll see some terrific examples of effective parent orientation procedures. We'll also review contracts and their value in promoting good communication. In addition, I'll share with you some examples of other materials you can use to improve communications with parents. Later on in our program, we'll talk about some of the daily procedures you can use to promote good working relationships. And finally, should your best efforts fail you, we'll talk about conflict resolution and how you can work through a problem that you might be A lot of what needs to be covered can be accomplished as you walk the parents through your contract. Yes, a contract. Does that surprise you? It shouldn't. When you think about it, having a contract identifies you as a professional and as a legitimate business. But perhaps more importantly, a legal contract is a tool for good communication. A contract enables you to clearly communicate your roles and expectations. In writing, it protects all parties involved, and it will eliminate a lot of headaches down the road. This is an example of an effective parent-provider child care contract taken from the Iowa Family Child Care Handbook. It identifies all the responsible parties. When the contract goes into effect, the specific hours of service, the various fees involved, any additional charges that might be incurred, your policies regarding vacations, illnesses, and holidays, and your expectations regarding termination of the contract.
This is just one example of a contract. You can have your contract written to your own specifications. I would suggest, however, that you have an attorney review your document before putting it into service. In any event, it's important that you give the parents time to review the contract and do give them the opportunity to ask questions before.
I consider myself to be a good listener. I try to make people feel like they're important when they have something to say.
A good listener is someone who doesn't just hear you, they are actively listening, using body language, nodding, acknowledging, repeating what they're hearing.
Becoming a good listener is another way by which you can improve your communication skills and eliminate potential conflicts when dealing with parents. So how do you become a good listener? It begins with active listening. That means not only listening with your ears, but with your eyes. As you listen to someone's words, watch their body language. Perhaps they're tired, or maybe they're under stress. Active listening can help you understand their frame of mind.
My work is so exhausting, and I think about Danny all day. And then when I come to pick him up, he tells me all the great things he's doing. I feel so left out. I'm just so frustrated.
Being a good listener not only means listening with your ears and with your eyes, it also means listening with your heart and having empathy for the person who has the problem. Think about what it must be like for a mother to leave her child all day. You need to feel for her. That way, when she comes to you with a problem, knowing how she feels can help you keep things in perspective and address her concerns appropriately. Here's an example.
I know Danny's doing well here, but I'm not doing well with it.
It must be hard on you to have to leave him here every day.
I feel so guilty. I mean, I know you're nice and everything, but it's just not the same as being with me. I mean, he's my little guy, and I just wish I could spend more time with him.
You know, you're welcome to come by and have lunch with him if you like, unless you think it would be too hard on him to have to say goodbye again.
It might.
Well, you know, you could call him here during the day to say hi, and then at least you could hear his voice and you could tell him you love him.
Oh, that's an idea. Thanks for your help. You're so understanding.
Throughout this program, we've discussed at length the importance of good communication and its value to you as a home care provider. We've shown you preventive measures you can take to avoid the problems that result from misunderstandings. And we've covered the importance of contracts and putting vital information in writing. We've also talked about improving your listening skills by becoming an active listener. And finally, we've given you tools for resolving difficult conflicts and ideas for sharing information with parents. Remember, there is simply no substitute for good communication. And if you can create an environment that fosters open communication, you will have created a win-win situation for everyone. You'll have fewer problems, smaller conflicts, happier parents, and a happier you. And that's important because, as we all know, you count too.